Okay. Hello, hello. Let's just go here to start. Just goes. Yo, why do I seem so short? Is it my posture? Slightly. Also slightly the camera. Yeah, the if I don't run an ad instantly, it runs one 5 minutes after we start, so I may as well run it while we're on the on the starting soon screen, and then once you know that 3-minute ad is over, we're good for an hour. So there we go. Anyway, but yeah, all working as intended. Today, I think we're probably working on just more corruption cards, just getting that done. We only have 3 left, and then all the art is done. Well, okay, let's just jump into here real quick. I say that, but of course, this, you know, small little bit of extra work kind of project thing has now turned into, you know, a good bit more work. We've been working on it for a good while. Leave that open anymore. I'm not really like too worried about it, but the thing is, I'm thinking of adding more more creature events, because I think that'd be more fun to play that way. I think all the other things should be like less, like come up less often. So I think the density of creature events needs to be higher. So that's my thought. Not 100% certain. In theory, I could just do like double the copies of creatures and then just call that good enough, but I'm not entirely certain. I might have to like run some of the odds on it and see what makes the most sense. Because right now there's like I mean, practically a 50-50 chance that you're gonna get. Well, let's just look at it. Would you look at it? Would you look at that? Blood Black Rage. This. There are 5 shops, 8 creatures, and 3 incidents. I guess it's not horrible. But I could potentially see creatures being higher. And I don't know if that makes sense to just add more creatures or if I should just increase the number of copies. Not sure yet, but I think it would be better having creatures pop up more often. I don't know. Maybe the solution is just double them to start and then go from there. But I don't know. I don't know. So that's just a thought for now. We do have to, in the meantime, we can do the art for this. I mean, doubling and adding more variety has the same balance effect. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Like if I just double rather than adding more variety. At least I can find out whether it works. It's just more of like a... like either I can add, you know, I don't know. I'd have to figure out the number of things I would want to add. It probably is just much easier to double the number of existing creatures and then just seeing how that goes. See if it feels more correct. I do not have this set up properly. Give me a second. But yeah, I would say probably just doubling what we have is probably the better thing for testing, and then just call that good enough for now. Okay, so this isn't a game I really played. Was the role of creatures really serves compared to the other cards? Yeah, so the creatures are like the main threats, right? So like you're having to use your weapons on the creatures to gain resources. And honestly, arguably, I haven't played the game enough. I just need to play test it more. So that's part of it. But they're the main challenges, right? They should be the main challenges. But yeah, these are the ones you're using weapons on, right? So a third of your cards are used on these, right? Shops basically are, you know, trading one resource for another or gambling mostly, right? And there's not much of a reason to trade unless you're running into lots of, like, you wouldn't ever like, I don't know, you wouldn't ever like buy a weapon for trading in for a ration if you're not running into monsters, right? So I mean, there are other things you can buy, like you can get rid of corruption, or you can gain more rations or tools or whatever, so that can be useful here. But most things are more useful in creature events, and then incidents are like mini games, right? These usually do use weapons in some sense or another, but not necessarily. One of your main thoughts, I guess, there are other survival mechanics, but I get what you mean. Yeah. Arguably, you should be pulling like a creature card pretty much like every other or every, you know, 2 rounds. I would think would feel the most fun, but yeah, making this sort of rare could be good. As an instance, shops are either more useful or not mandatory. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. It also makes it like, to the vibe of the game, I think it makes it feel better. Like you're constantly running into threats, and then like there's some respite. You're like, oh, phew. Why did it sound weird when I said it? You know, you're like, oh, okay, there's a place of rest. I don't have to fight something for once, you know. That's how this should feel, but a lot of time you run into like a shop and you're like, I've got like 12 weapons. I don't need anything here. I thought the non-mandatory / ones without punishment for not joining should be doubled. Pretty much all creature events are that. There's only one that doesn't have that, which is still like you end up still participating in and like spending your weapon. So I think it's good. Gorgery shouldn't be doubled. You're still betting against each other. Like you're still pitted against each other, even if it's not mandatory, you know. But I see what you're saying. That one could maybe be a more rare monster. But yeah, I don't know. And I would leave incidents just one copy. Those should just be, these should be like special events, basically. I also did get a note that I should move all the ones that, all these like lore things out of the top corner here if it doesn't have a one of these, right? Like that, because it makes it seem like it has one for at a glance. Yeah, I suppose it is, but I mean, you also need the rations. It's interesting how it plays, but yeah, I could agree with that. The thing is, like, even like shops, I think arguably, I just before I even, yeah, good for clarity, yeah. Arguably, I think I just need to play the game more. There are a few changes I need to do. Mostly clarity's sake, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's like, if you win the bet, you get to do this. Like this, Ritual Knife, winning the bet removes corruption, and then that can get kind of confusing with, like... Honestly, it's mostly that clarity with, like, duel, I guess. Hey, can you not scratch my couch? Yeah. Thank you. Playtesting, the indie dev's bane. Yeah, that's the one nice part about AE is I can playtest it on my own, right? If I have to. Luna, yeah. Yeah, duel has like a lot of weird things because I did remove the term bet from it, but it ends up acting a lot like a bet. But then the winners and losers are different, and it gets really weird. So I definitely need to change some of the wording on here on different cards. And the other thing I need to do is all of these need more information. Like, increase the cost of an event. I think these all need to have like the same treatment we did for tools, where it's like place you could type not a bet and is a bet on cards. I mean, so I think the way you do it is just like you say creature event, or I mean, honestly, most of them you just say creature event, because there's no real difference between a creature event and a bet. Because the creature events are the only ones you bet on, right? So I like this Bowie knife shouldn't give you a ration on a duel, especially because there's not really any winning. So winning, like killing a creature, or like you know, winning in a creature event grants you one ration. It's easy as that, I think. And then I have to go through the corruption deck and like look at how each card impacts each thing. I think there's also like different rules. Originally I was thinking these are placed upside down, but they really kind of have to be placed upside right. Unless you're adding a casino where you bet cards or play Yahtzee or something, then yeah, creature event is, yeah. I mean, I do have the saloon, which you can technically gamble, but it's not really betting. It's just a gamble / roll, not really whatever. You roll a dice and you get the thing. It's not like betting, whatever. But yeah, so just rewording a lot of cards. It's clarity, not necessarily a problem with any of the rules. And like this one's like draw an event. Like this should be like draw an event and it is treated as if it is a multi-event, right? maybe say like if there is a penalty, you can take that penalty as well, or whatever, right? It's treated like a multi-event. Certain things like that. So they need a little more wordage on there. But yeah. I mean, we're almost done with all the icons. We only need Pestilence, Petulance, not Pestilence. I keep saying that. Petulance. It's weird, a weird slight difference in wording that both mean bad things, you know? We need Envy, which I was like starting to draw, but I don't really love that. And then Neglect. But yeah, I think we're gonna be doing drawing as much as I kind of want to work on the game. As far as like, I just kind of want to get it done. I probably really need to stop having that mindset though. Pestilence would be easy. I was about to scream Locust. Yeah, right. Petulance. Yeah, I probably need to stop having the mindset of like, oh, I need to get this done, because it really don't, first of all, and second of all, like, I mostly just feel bad that I'm not working on armies, but if I'm being completely honest with myself, this is a better game. Which is like weird to say. But then again, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I've been playing armies for like too long, but it depends on your definition of a good game. It's more fun from most of the people who have played it have enjoyed it more. Is my current definition on that. Obviously, you know, if the definition is just because entertainment, then yes, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I don't know. Armies is probably more unique. But the formula of game where people can't help but sabotage each other automatically gets like plus 50 fun points. I agree. It's also like not necessarily the game I would like. Again, this isn't a game I would originally choose to make. I like the idea of co-op games, right? Like that's more fun to me. But I think armies is definitely more niche, which is maybe not a problem. But it is definitely something where it's like, I think, oops, almost dropped my pen. I don't remember where I was going with that statement. Something about, oh, I don't think it can, like, if I was trying to show your skills to someone, I'd use AE, not Blackridge for sure. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would say AE is more involved for sure. It's also an easier game to just show to someone, right? Like our armies, in a way. Like Blackridge, I think you could show to like your you know, you can show to your mom and then she would be able to play it because it's like any other board game, right? You could teach people how to play it. Armies feels more complex, like something that you kind of have to be like more of a gamer to understand, if that makes sense. And just the time you spend on the game, they're two different beasts entirely. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges a little bit. But I think like arguably this game, like this game's pretty much like it doesn't need a lot more, right? Whereas Armies is kind of infinitely expandable. It doesn't need to be, and maybe it shouldn't. Maybe Armies needs to be like, well, I really don't want to actually add much more to Armies. The biggest thing I've been thinking about is the whole, I should probably be drawing while I'm talking. God, I lack the language skills to express what I'm trying to say. Well, take your time. They're definitely two different types of games. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. They're not the same type of game. Armies requires like a lot more. It's much more of a strategy game, whereas this is much more a party game, right? How do you draw envy without people? Just showing the type of apple. That's funny. Blackridge is an easier to execute idea, which is somewhat piggybacking on already used formula. Well, Armies is much more distinct and also a harder to execute game. Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, because I mean, Blackridge is literally using like gambling, right? Like you're betting kind of mechanics and all that, which is very already known. Armies is, you know, using more of like your traditional resource management sort of stuff mixed with like Magic the Gathering. I mean, they're all forms that have been used just in different combinations, right? Whereas, yeah, but yeah, you're right. Blackridge is much more of a much more of a simplistic idea. There's a lot less interworking parts. You don't have this that interacts with that interacts with this, that interacts with that. It's like the most you have is like 3 levels, whereas Armies could be like, you know, A is much further from the original idea line. You mean like... What do you mean? Like it's more original? Wait, further from the original idea line. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Blackridge is closer to it. Armies is farther. Gotcha. Sorry. Took me a second to understand what you meant. Honestly, I think my icon for Envy is actually decent. The problem is Envy is like about people, whereas like this almost could be like a hand reaching for something feels like it could be greed, right? When you want something you can't have, or that someone else has. Not really what you can't have, what someone else has. Are you against using humans in the icon? Not really. I mean, I did it with which one? Apathy. But the reason I'm really against it for the most part is I don't want it to be much more complex than this, right? if I'm drawing like 2 people in the icon, it starts getting like a little too much in my opinion. That's a thing, because like we were doing the I can't remember if you were there for all of it. Were you there? You were there Wednesday, right? Am I blanking out here? I can't remember who was there anymore. I'm losing my mind. We did the one for which one was it? Oh, it was Sloth. I think it was. Yeah, so we were doing the one for Sloth, and then Tice came in. He said he was suggested doing like a face that was like old and sad. And it's kind of cool, but it just doesn't quite match the style, so I just thought of the bedroll. I don't know which one I liked better still, but like the face felt, I don't know, it just didn't quite feel right, you know? I don't know, maybe it's okay, I don't know. But the bedroll feels much more like an icon, right? I should do the art display. Let's see this. It doesn't match the style, and honestly, it doesn't. The face doesn't convey Sloth as well. Yeah, exactly. So the bedroll makes some sense. It's not perfect either, but yeah. I think we're just going with the bedroll. It's good enough. It was a try. I'm not upset that I attempted it, right? But but yeah, it was worth trying to do a face, you know. Yeah, we're getting like really conceptual, and that's why it's getting kind of difficult. The biggest symbol I see for, because yeah, we got, if you can think of anything for neglect, envy, or petulance, I'm down. Neglect, I'm seeing a lot of like symbols of like people in the fetal position, which is like, eh. I do kind of like the idea of the wilted flower. That's kind of good. Thunder! Yo, dude, what's up? Long time no see. How's it been? Good, dude. Well, not too bad, at least. I'm pretty tired right now, but overall, we've been good. Just doing more Blackridge stuff. It's a good idea, but the style doesn't have enough detail to show tired from just the eyes and nose. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're talking about doing a mouth on that thing, on that part too, but it was like, just too much. A crackle of thunder as lightning strikes twice. Boom shakalaka, true. I kind of like the idea of like a dying flower for neglect. I think that's kind of cool, right? Do you like that one? Do you like that idea? I like that idea. Guys, here it's been all right. How the chicks doing? Let's pull up a reference. I think I want. For some reason a rose seems appropriate. Chicks, are you raising chickens? No, he's got lots of girl. No, I'm just kidding. He's he's raising. He got 50 of them or so. Oh no, lost 6 in total now, but they're Getting big and chonky. Nice. I'm going to have a good harvest next month. Nice. That's awesome. Yo, Beats, what's up? Making them corruption cards, you see? That I am. Welcome on in. How you doing today? We only have 3 more. So, once we get those done, we're going to be good to go. I saw you playtesting your game today. I only was there for like 4 seconds. I had a lot to do today, unfortunately, so I couldn't actually stay and watch. But all right, can we draw a rose? Let's just start with the general shape, the gesture, words, gesture, if you will. That'll be the stem. And yeah, I have 46 lovely birds left. Nice. That's awesome. Good to hear. No idea about farming, so I can't tell 6 and 52 is great or terrible ratio. I'd assume it's pretty decent, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. But yeah, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Snat, is that fine? Is that cool? I say that. I probably should just ask you when you're on stream, unless you have a way to phonetically, you know, tell me. I still don't know how to say Dalamus correctly. Apparently, I was is about 10 to 15%, so I'm in the green with 6 dead. You're going to be you're doing as expected, but in the best kind of doing perfect. There you go. Look at him go. Macker? Yeah, Macker Snat. Yeah. I'm too dyslexic for my own good, so it's hard for me to do words. Macker Snat. That's kind of fun to say. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong still, but making new card back? No, so if you remember, originally we had just one type of corruption card. But the idea is, as you gain corruption, the idea is once you get 10 corruption or damage cards, or damage cards, you die. But the cool part is, once you die now, you can actually play corruption cards from beyond the grave. Right? So you can actually play these cards when you're dead. Which then affect the game board and change, you know, the outcome of events. You got it. Okay. I got it now. Beautiful. But yeah, that's the idea. So I'm making symbols for each of them. You know, we're I don't know, oppressive, gluttony, pride is going to be the original one, violent, greed, wrath, apathy, malice. So they're all going to have their own thing. Ooh, sweet, yeah. Beep, sweet. Wait, I can do that. Do I have it still? Yeah. Sweet. There you go. Sorry, don't sweat it. No one. Hopefully it's not like turbo loud, but No one knows how to say my name right outside of IRL friends and family. LMAO. Oh yeah, we were watching someone and they said you're like every time we raid, I hear them say your name and I find it really funny. Like if they pronounce it differently or the same. I also have like some filters. Like I can sound like I'm auto-tuned or something. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, anyway. Hopefully that worked. I don't know. There's a chance it didn't, but I don't really use those filters in forever. But yeah, what have y'all been up to today? How's your day going? I'm getting a roommate tomorrow, so I had to get all that sort of squared away. And then what else did I do? I worked on my devlog for the BTB video, which should be done. I only have like 2 more shots left, or like 2 more like clips to make, which should be relatively simple, and then audio. Fun thing I get to do is just say hi to people and watch them struggle with my username. Oh yeah. Their face contorting the first in confusion, then desperation as they try to piece together some semblance of sound to beckon me. Yeah, I kind of just ended up being like, Maximus. But now I just kind of like, I'll say either. I'll say Dalamus or Maximus. Because it's like, whatever. As long as you're not offended by it, you know? I think that's gonna look cool. And we should do like 1 petal falling. Roses, I think, have like more of a whatever. That's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, maybe. Something along those lines. I mean, maybe we could go a little more 3D with it and have like the... Kind of looking at some reference here, but... But yeah, what else did I do today? Dude, I was so tired. I don't know what it is. I have a lot more energy now, but I was dying. I was like so freaking tired. I think I might just be like getting close to burning out again. I feel like I like get burnt out way too easily. I don't know what that's about, but any y'all do anything cool? If you feel like sharing, at least. I guess honestly, this is gonna be, let's just fill this in, right? And then we'll erase. Because that's how this style works. We work in the negative. That's a thing like I've learned from like doing a lot of different projects now, is like to learn something, just pick a new project. Because man, like this project has probably been great for learning like how negative space should function. Anyone do anything cool? Absolute silence. Yeah, it's honestly usually how it is, believe it or not. I feel like I ask how people are doing or what they're up to, and then no one says anything. But I like I don't want to stop saying it per se, you know, because I do want to encourage people to talk, right? Because that's one, it makes the stream easier, right? Because if we're talking about stuff, it's cool, right? And two, it I don't know, I want people to feel welcome too, you know? Feel like they can talk about stuff. But typically when I ask unrelated questions, there's usually a lot of silence, which is fine. I don't actually mind. I found that my streams are more of the what's it called? More of the co-working kind of streams, right? Uh-oh. Maximus. No, Thunder. Wait. Hold on. Oh, we'll allow that. That's fine. I got flagged for that. It's the dickest part. That's what you were flagged for. Lol. I thought you were stream boo for a second. He's struggling with Roman name reminds me of Monty Python line. What do you find funny about biggest dickest? Yeah, classic. Life of Brian. I actually haven't seen that one. Honestly, I think I've only really seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Part of me is wondering if I really, I don't think I want to do the 3D effect. I think it isn't necessary. This leaf though is like too big, I feel like. Haven't. It's worth the watch. I'll have to check it out. It's amazing. Okay. I will have to check it out. I haven't really watched that many movies lately, honestly. Obviously, it's like an older... I'm assuming it's an older movie, but still. I also haven't watched a lot of movies in general. It's something I was constantly yelled at for in film school. Like, why haven't you watched movies? So I was like, I don't know. Not my case, Dad. Just kidding. No, I don't know. I've talked about that multiple times, so. I was debating not drawing the thorns, but it looks more edgy that way. And it seems more appropriate. Old is right. November 1979. 9 years before me. Good number. Why can't I do math right now? So 1980 would be 14, 15 years? 16? 1994 is my birthday. I can't do that math right now in my head. I don't know why. Too many multitasks going. Too many processes running in my brain right now to do simple subtraction. I'll tell you, streamer brain is a real thing. Don't let anyone tell you different. Boo Radley. I did not know there was an emoji for a dying rose. It's wild. How you doing, Bradley? Basically drawing an iPhone emo right now. It's true. Well, the chat can bring up some weird topics sometimes. Don't look my way, though. Perfectly normal topics for me, of course. Only normal topics. Especially now that Bradley's here with the band hammer. He's ready to use it. I'm sure. He's itching for someone to step out of line. He's gone mad with power. There we go. Maybe like a little bit more here. I sent you a DM of the screenshot of the iPhone emoji. It looks just like it. I'm sure it does. Oh. Oh god. I broke it. There it is. It's literally almost identical. Leaked. Yeah, I'm leaking your DMs. Gen Z / Elva use the... Oh, as the heartbreak. Oh, interesting. Yeah, sorry, leaking your DMs. Your name is already on the Discord server, so I figured it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. It doesn't matter. I know, but I was like thinking about that. I'm like, does this actually matter? I'm like, no, it doesn't. It don't. It don't. Nothing really matters. I had to fall to lose it all. You know what I mean? Edmund, how are you? True, good question. We already asked that, but chickens are doing decent, so that's good. I'll let him answer though. I feel like I need to like do something more with this pedal, but maybe just that. Maybe just one. Yeah. Chickens. Ah. True. Chickens do make you go. I don't know. I'm just saying things. I'm just filling dead air. Don't mind me. You don't mind if I post some pictures on Discord? No, not at all. Yeah, go for it. Just post them on the, I mean, you can post them anywhere really, but the stream chat one is like if it's topic related to stream. You have chickens for eggs? Yes, but these are growing for the meat. Num 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 num. Chicken. Isn't it weird that chickens, like cows have beef, pigs have pork, but chicken is just still chicken? You know what I mean? There's no, I guess you could say like poultry or something, but you know what I'm saying? That's just my weird thought of the day. It's because we got those words from French. Okay, I did not know that. Mind freaking blown. Why? And chicken we stole maybe from German. Interesting. Chicken. Awesome, pretty happy with this one. Despite it being an emoji. It's like moose is moose plural because it's a native thing. It's like how Lego is Lego plural. Croc, I have a question. Do you know Lego was Lego plural? I think that one's just a lie, you know? You don't play Legos, you play Lego. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yes. Is that yes to Lego or yes that you are Grok? Grok, no thank you. Grok. I am Grok. Is that a reference to something? Grok? Isn't that like the like text to speech or like the text-based adventure game? Am I thinking it wrong or is that something else? Now that I'm like for some reason considering that. Am I losing my mind? I don't know. No, yeah, I know Grok is that, but like, is it named after something else? Because he like, is it named after? Isn't there a game that's like that? Dude, you had it right. The other two are French, while chicken was dramatic. Cool. Things I did not know. Well, good. I'm glad we're learning things today. No, but yeah, isn't Grok like text-based He named X after one of his kids. I mean, it's just his like favorite letter for some reason, but like everything he has is like named after something, you know. X based adventure game. I could have sworn it was. I could have sworn there was one that was like that. I was like, did he name it after that? And then I don't know. I'm sometimes knowledgeable. Good. I don't know. For some reason, my brain is telling me there's something that starts with a G. This is like such a tangent that I really shouldn't be on. That literally matters 0%. Yeah. I can't remember how you actually pronounce that, but yes, I did hear about that. He is definitely a unique person. He's definitely very he's yeah. I don't know. I don't really have that many opinions on him. Arguably. But he definitely is a little bit crazy. I would rather that than being named Apple or Blanket. Is that a thing? All right, I'm done. I'm done looking for dumb things. How do you feel about this neglect icon? I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. All right, neglect is done. We can now neglect. All right, who's got ideas for either petulance or envy as an icon? Keep in mind, we are trying to keep them somewhat simple. Because they are icons. Michael Jackson's youngest son is Blanket. That's wild. And Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin's kid is Apple. It's wild. Damn, Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I cannot think of anything for these two. What in the... That's wild. Anyway, don't mind me. Google image search just showing some weird shit. I could have used my beep again, but I didn't. Envy maybe eyes. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, actually, yeah, like they're like staring, right? We could potentially cheat and use like the eyes from could we cheat and use the eyes from what's it called? Armies? like from the minion symbol. Are those two like, I don't know. I'm just like looking through the wrong thing. We want art. We want card layout. We want icons. Doesn't might be like a fist on a table, like a tantrum or something. Yeah. The only worry with that is we already have like 2 fist icons. So we've got these. Oops. Envy, I think snakes represent that. Interesting. Snakes, I don't know snakes. We got these icons we could use in some form or another if we wanted to do eyes. Or we could do a singular eye, might be better. Envy symbol. I do see a lot of snakes. That's wild. Allegory of envy. We call on snakes. Sorry, I'm looking up this interpretation. Apparently, that's some sort of museum thing. Anyway, just the description is funny, and I'm just not going to read it out loud. Because that could be clipped out of context. Anyway, yeah, a serpent. Should we do a serpent kind of dealio? Yeah, I mean, either a serpent or like one of these eyes would be my thought. But a snake does feel very westerny, so maybe we just go with that. That's kind of a cool concept. Snake. Ooh, ad time. Ooh, sorry, I did not warn you. My bad. I failed you. Adage. You know what? Why don't I take a few second break real quick? I'm gonna get my water and whatnot because I forgot to grab it. So we'll BRB.
Waiting your turn sucks, and I think it's time we all come to admit that. Like, how many times have you been sitting at a table playing a game and either finding yourself zoning out completely or anxiously hyper-focusing on what you're gonna do the next turn when it finally rolls around, easily losing sight of the bigger picture? And this is the case whether you're playing a board game, tabletop role-playing game, or even a video game. Today I'm specifically focusing on tabletop role-playing games, but this applies pretty much across the board. Yes, that was a board game pun. No, I'm not sorry. Sorry, I'm not. Whatever. But what if I told you I devised a way of making your turns not just bearable, but actually fun? Now I'm gonna tell you about that. So, yeah. One of the things that helped inspire this idea was I was reading through comments on one of my previous videos. I had proposed a slot-based inventory system that ties health and the inventory system directly. As you get hurt, you lose access to those item slots. However, I didn't really have a good way of determining which slot actually got damaged. I had suggested random chance by rolling some dice, or maybe allowing the attacker to target specific slots. But a few comments suggested that instead, why not let the defender choose? And I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, but it's brilliant. It's like improv as a game mechanic, the yes and of combat. Role-playing games like D&D, Pathfinder, what have you, all pretty much rely rely on improv to tell a good story. A good game master will consider the core principles of improv. Yes and, yes but, no and. These principles build on an idea rather than dismissing it, helping players feel heard and making their vision part of the story. If you're not familiar with this concept, I recommend checking out one of these 2 videos. They explain it better than me. But why shouldn't these concepts be used in the mechanics of the game as well? Combat especially. Most parts of the game are a give and take. A player may want to do one thing, and regardless of whether they succeed or not, their actions should impact the narrative. But instead, a player is often left passively waiting for their turn, disengaged from the flow of the story and the game. A good game master wouldn't dictate how your character feels or force them to act. However, most systems break this rule when it comes to a player taking a hit. When it comes to combat, most players are supposed to wait their turn, take their beating, and move on. They have no choice in the matter of what happens to their character. This feels like a forced interaction that detracts from the collaborative storytelling spirit of role-playing games. So why shouldn't these improv concepts also be used in the mechanics?
Oh, look how the little bean is standing there. And we're back after them messages, exactly. I figure I may as well, you know, promote my stuff, you know? No self-promo. Snake. Let's look up some snakes. My hands were on the wrong part of the keyboard. I'm trying to find like a reference I like. I like this head. Maybe something like this. I like kind of more like a more realistic sort of head. But we'll see. We'll see how we end up going. I mean, is that the general gesture we should have? Old danger noodle. All right, everyone give me your best snake fact. I say that as if like I have a snake fact, but I don't. Or anyone really has a snake fact. I feel like if anyone does, it's Thunder though. Hello? There we go. Oh, that's why. Like, why is this not drawing? It's because it's erasing. Hello? Hold on. Sorry, give me a... Fun fact, the snake is the only reason we can enjoy the Garden of Eden. Well, there you go. Can't enjoy, yeah. Sorry, this is important. This is my new roommate. Sorry about that. You think, sorry, yeah, I'm getting a new roommate, or a roommate. So, he's messaging me. And that's like tomorrow. So, it's pretty cool. Money, yay. What was the last person? This is the last person. Probably. Yeah, this should be the... another fun fact, the snake is often combined with it. No. I'm like, I'm not gonna read that. You can't get me to say weird things. Snake trousers. That's what you were trying to say, right? There's a snake in my boot. True. I think this is like technically should be like more like this, right? Yeah, that feels more right. Is that a posture check? It is. Good call. Ugh. As shrimple as that. This would be like... Doesn't... I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think it does, but... It's like a 4D snake. Also, I'm just gonna get rid of some of the lines and then just add a few, and then as long as it kind of looks like it makes sense, it'll be fine. You need to make it more angular to look scarier. He looks like a little guy right now. His eyes not far forward enough though. And his head needs to be more like I guess like that. He looks kind of sad, honestly. He looks kind of upset. His tongue's also not right. There's a snake in my boot. Wait, what? Wait, did I just get a sub? It looks like I... Yeah, me. It just didn't pop up. It's weird. Well, thank you. It's just like you're... That's weird it didn't play. Or my Twitch Prime. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't do the notification. Because it did like your sub goal is up higher, but it's like it didn't actually... Fresh meat. Welcome to the seal. Welcome in seal. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Silly Poo. I appreciate it. Very thankful for that. I don't know why it didn't notify. That's so weird. I wonder why it didn't. Maybe it's because there's a Prime sub, but that shouldn't have. It should still show that. Honestly, I have the feeling it might show later, unless you did like don't notify if there's like an option for that, but thank you. I do appreciate it. I'm confused why I did that though. Did it happen when I did posture check? No. Well, the thing is, it didn't notify me at all. Edit alerts. It should do both if that's gonna happen. Gifted not gifted subscriptions. Subscriptions. Prime. I mean, I've gotten notifications for it before, so I don't know why it wouldn't. Oh, maybe it's because it's a resub thing? I don't know. Weird. Need an icon for pestilence. Any thoughts? Good question. Great question. Sorry, I'm just like tweaking some stuff here real quick. Because I want all these alerts to work. I think, I think Runner also. Well, he said he resubscribed 4 days ago. I don't know. That's weird, dude. I don't know why I did that. It's probably because it's a Prime sub. They're trying to like. They're putting the man down. You know what I mean? They're shadow banning Prime subs. Anyway. I'm not creative. I just ask intern Sam. There you go. Weird. Someone gifted me a tier 1 sub to a channel I'm not even following. Likely that happens. That usually happens if they've gifted like so many subs that the This is not looking quite right. Yeah, Sam Altman, ChatGPT. There you go. Grok is better. Usually you get random subs if like they it's past the point of like all the followers, not necessarily all the followers, but a lot of followers have already gotten subs from Gifted. It does happen every now and then. I've seen it. I've heard tale of it, you know. I'm an AI pay pig. I've got Grok, ChatGPT, and Claude. High roller. No, they're different uses, IMO. Yeah. I wouldn't know enough about the differences between them, but... How do we make a snake look angry? So do like the Cobra Kai logo, you know what I mean? Are we getting there? Is this snake-like? BRB, ladies and gents, my 43 chicks demand attention. Silly girls. Yeah, Thunder's a player. Mouth further open. Maybe some hiss marks. I heard you asked before I left. I'm angry. Snakes. An angry snake to me is one that strikes. There. That sounds like some sort of like saying you would hear like from a video game. The angry snake is the one that strikes. You know what I mean? It sounds like a video game line. Some cute ducklings yesterday. I assume the chicks are very cute. It's been a while. I think he said they're getting pretty big now. So they're probably almost. I don't know how long it's actually been though. At this point, I don't know how fast chickens grow. Yeah, I think they're becoming real full-fledged chickens. I don't know how angry it necessarily should be. It should just look evil, I guess, right? Because it is envy we're talking about here, so it doesn't need to be like necessarily angry, right? Like that's the symbol we're doing here. What did you say? Mouth further open. Yeah. Let's try it. I think we'll do further open by making the top of the head more open instead of the bottom, because we don't have a lot of room to work with here. Yeah, that's gonna work. I can tell you right now. Well, it almost looks like it's on more dimensions now. Let's give it multiple fangs. guess, maybe? I don't know. We're getting somewhere. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Now it just looks like angry Pac-Man noodle. Angry Pac-Man noodle. It's a noodle that's an angry Pac-Man. Control Z. Nah, I think we can get there. I think it looking up more is better. I just think we need to split the difference a little bit. Maybe? I don't want to be afraid to like play around with it because I know it's not quite right yet, you know? We're trying to find the snake in the marble, you know what I mean? We're carving out the snake out of the shape. Maybe the two, yeah, that's just too almost two, or those too many. And it kind of needs the mouth behind, I think, as part of it. Maybe it needs the other fang, I don't know. Looks like something now. I think the tongue also needs to be like further out now. Not further out, actually, it just need to be higher up. Actually, no. Okay, now let's carve some details back in. I think his head is a little big. Just shrink the whole thing. Maybe. Yeah, that's too much. Okay. Are we feeling snaky yet? I think it needs like its nose a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I'm no animal drawing expert, unfortunately. I'm not good at drawing creatures. That's not necessarily true, but real creatures, it's a little more difficult. Sorry, let me check my phone. Held for something. Stream boot denied. Sorry, I don't mean to be checking my phone, but I gotta make sure I check these. Yeah, never mind. Don't read this aloud. Okay. That's wild. Just like their tongue. It's wild. Nature, you know what I mean? I think I might be happy enough with this. I'm not sure it's like the best snake anyone's ever drawn, but I guess maybe part of it is the snoot should be more snooty. That's better. The snoot just needed to be more snooty, you know what I mean? Also, look at me moderating your chat like a good little mod. I'm so proud of you. The goodest mod. How does... Okay, let me just look at... I'm just trying to look at some references here. Snake. Snakes are so, like, derpy looking. Like, you expect them to look, like, really scary, but they're like, you know? Just like little guys. The internet makes them look scarier than they are. Cobra. It's just a derpy little guy, you know? He's just a little guy. I could make it like a cobra, but I don't know. They are cute, wait, they're a little past cute now. Boo. They have... Oh. So I was like, who do you call him Boo? I'm like, all right, Boo. Boo Radley. They're month old and a half. Kind of chick, but they're all feathering out. Who is Boo? I was just kind of confused for a second, you know? I get confused when it's not said all together, you know? Boo Radley. But like, who's your Boo, you know? Hey there, Boo. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna call that good enough, I think. They get all funny looking at that stage, yeah. Not like I would know, but yeah. Let's just clean it up a smidge and then it's all good enough. No draw, no good. No good luck. Oh, actually, I didn't even... Yeah, whatever. We'll come back to it. Why am I using my mouse? When I have a perfectly decent drawing tablet, this should not be on. Maybe where in Discord you want my chick pics? Yeah, just put them in the stream chat one. That's perfectly fine, I think. It's like that red exclamation point one. That's kind of the topic here, right? If you wanted to like put them under like something else, you could, but stream chat seems the most appropriate. I guess I don't really have one for like pictures and whatever, but I don't know. I felt like I was like making a lot of servers, but it was like, oh yeah, this is kind of a cool thing to have, and this is kind of a cool thing to have, and then eventually, or not servers, but like channels, and then I was like, this is I'm making more than I could possibly need for the size of my Discord channel. There's already way too many. Like, arguably, I should probably delete some of the Soul ones, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Soul. Who knows? I think I will. I've been thinking about that, actually. I've been thinking about like tabletop role-playing games and like what actually I want from making one, right? I think that's part of it. Like, I was kind of making something to make something, but I don't know if I was like considering like what kind of tabletop role-playing game I would even want to be playing. So I don't know. I gotta kind of like reapproach the whole thing, I think. I forgot to do the blood splatter portion on this. On this one and the other one. Wait. I think one that's kind of like that, maybe. And then neglect. I think we'll put it like all at the bottom. Actually, that was kind of cool. Let's delete it from inside here. And then we want this to be linear burn. Oops, not that. The whole thing goes under linear burn. And exactly 88% opacity. Why did I choose 88%? I don't know. Done and done. Thanks. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at these. I was not expecting such red pictures. Look at these guys. Look at them. That makes perfect sense. I just, for some reason, was not expecting it. Yeah, they're kind of like the middle stage Animorph pictures. They're still pretty cute. Yeah, heat lamps. We still get cold. Yeah, it was 85 degrees out today. So, although it probably gets colder later on in the day here anyway. But look at them, these little guys. I like this one. I like just the hand reveal. My ass was sweating. Out of mile-long walk, true. Doxed. Yep. Now we know what your hand looks like under red light. How we doing on adage? 15 minutes. We have one last thing to do. Pestilence. Instead of fist slamming, we could do a guy who's angry, technically, but again, I'm like trying to stay away from like people. I did do one for apathy, so maybe we could do something, but yeah, I'm in paradise. We're 48 in the morning, dang. Yeah, I don't know what's supposed to be later, but... 65 is the low. Okay. Pestilence. Petulance. I keep saying pestilence. But did warm up to 53.5 today. Damn. A heat wave. One day I'll say the right word. Petulance. 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 All right. It is time. I think I may have asked ChatGPT this already, honestly. Hold on. Let me not dox myself real quick. I was writing up a roommate agreement, so I just didn't want to click on that and then show my address. That would have been bad. I guess you can't really see. Well, you could. Never mind. Sulky frustration, emotional tantrum, pouting face with puffed cheeks, man, eyebrows sharply downward, whatever, more faces. Crossed arms is maybe okay. Storm cloud is not bad with a lightning bolt, maybe. Foot stomping, maybe. Speech bubbles with scribbles, meh. Broken toy or crown. Spiral breaking a car apart. Firecracker with burning fuse. Bubble being popped. This one's a hard one. Half of me is just like, I'm just gonna rename it so I can find a better icon. What does this one even do? What that thing do, you know? I gotta go. My pulled pork pasta is ready. Yum. Hope I catch you again soon. You keep it up. The look of your game is looking awesome. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it as always. I hope you enjoy your food and the rest of your evening. And yeah, hope to see you soon. Decrease the detriment of the creature bite. Yeah, it's kind of like bad, but like not that bad. Later days, my friend. We'll see you later. Decrease the detriment of the creature event by 1. I'm tempted to just change the name to figure out something. Okay, so we could change this. It does decrease the detriment of event. It could be something like cowardice. Let's see. I don't like passivity. Indifference. Indifference kind of seems meh. Cowardice is kind of cool. Complacency is kind of cool. Registration. Resignation. I don't really like resignation. I do like cowardice in it or indifference. Not indifference. Which one was the one I liked? Or complacency, sorry. Cowardice would be easy to draw as a person. Like, you could just have someone, like, you know, hands over their head kind of deal. Interesting. The symbol for cowardice is a feather. So we could do that. That's a potential. At least it has some sort of iconography, right? Or complacency doesn't really have... Complacency also doesn't seem really that bad. Cowardice is more interesting to me. All right. Do you think we should try to find something for... yeah, no, we're just going to change it. We're going to go ahead and change it. Because... Does have like weird origins. The white feathers, widely known as propaganda symbol. The white feathers, British non-enlisting men symbolize which women gave white feathers to non-enlisting men to symbolize cowardice and shaming them into signing up. Oh, interesting. All right, I mean, the problem is it's technically too late for our time era, but at the same time, like, it's a symbol, so it's not necessarily that big of a deal. I still like cowardice better than petulance because it's something that we can actually symbolize, right? It's much easier to symbolize, and the effect makes just as much sense. Oh. Look at that, it's a very cute picture. Little cutie. Cute pog. Sorry, I'm just looking at the thing. We're at 5 minutes. And I'll probably still get off at 10 even though I started late. All right. Let's do... We want... yeah, we want a symbol. So we're gonna change this to cowardice. I think that's just gonna be easier to it's gonna be easier to symbolize than petulance, I think. I'm really trying to decide whether we do like, so our two options, right? We either do a feather, which I think we could all imagine in our brains, or the other being like, oops, being like a dude. I'm trying to decide. I mean, it could be a chicken. Speaking of chickens, could be a guy like... I'm trying to get the shape here. This needs to be farther forward. Hi, kitten. Hi. Let me start over. The shape is he's sitting on his legs, right? And he would be, hey, no, nope. Thank you. So he'd be back here. Knees are out. He might be leaning forward more. And then like the arms, God, yeah, this is kind of a tricky. It's basically like, I'm thinking like, you know, one of these poses. But like kneeling, like. I think we're gonna do a feather though. It's just gonna be easier. Kitten, no attacking my carpet. Thank you. Now it just looks like a corn dog. But we'll get there. The great symbol of cowardice, a corn dog. Oh, we got an ad in like right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna take a 2-second break. I gotta answer some messages here. So we're gonna take a few minute break and we'll back. Probably go for another half an hour before we're done. Probably finish this icon for sure.
Waiting your turn sucks, and I think it's time we all come to admit that.
Jump forward.
Like, how many times have you been sitting at a table playing a game, improv to tell? So why should Solution not only fixes boring turn-based waiting, but also makes the game feel better overall? For one, it helps players stay engaged at all times and be invested in the game. Second, it allows players to actually participate when it's not their turn. Third, it makes negative outcomes feel less bad because the player actually had a hand in the result. This one is especially important because I received a lot of comments about punishing systems not feeling good because players feel bad losing things. And lastly, it helps the narrative by making combat explanations more organic and immersive. This is cool and all, but right now it's all just talk. So let me show you how I'm actually going to implement this. So not only are we going to use the idea of allowing the player to choose where the attacker hits, but we're also going to implement it into a larger system, allowing for players to have even more options when it comes to defending. The system involves having two different types of defense. One is evading and the other is enduring. Evading is like what you would see in other games, an all or nothing sort of mechanic. You can choose to evade and not take any damage at all. However, if you fail, the attacker gets to choose what slot gets hit and you take full damage. When you're attacked and you choose to endure it, you instead get to choose which slot is damaged. Both successes and failures will result in taking damage. However, both will be reduced damage in comparison to failing to evade an attack. And of course, a successful roll when enduring means less damage than an unsuccessful one. I haven't totally figured out what the numbers are for succeeding and failing and what that actually means, but there's a lot going on in this game, all right? I'm sorry. What do you want from me? Anyway, I'm excited to keep exploring ways to implement systems similar to these, using this concept of improv-based mechanics, which is, I guess, what I'm calling them now, which is really just player agency, but I just wanted to sound more profound, I guess. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, if you have any suggestions of other game systems that have similar things to this, or maybe other interesting mechanics that follow the same sort of principle, I would love to hear about them, because admittedly, I haven't actually played a ton of other TTRPGs. Of course, I know there are things like reactive abilities or D&D's opportunity attacks, but I feel like sometimes some of these mechanics can feel more like an afterthought rather than a well-integrated mechanic. Not saying that these are specifically examples of those. They're good, they're great, but I guess I'm just looking for something better. Lastly comes the part where I beg you to subscribe. Normally I don't ask this because there's a 0.3% chance that it actually matters whether you're watching my videos or not, but I need 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, and that would be a huge goal for me, and I'm so close to there. Basically, I would really appreciate it if you did. Speaking of money, you can also throw money at me to support my games like Soul and Armies Against Entropy. If you check out my Patreon, you can get cool things like these pretty icons I made you can use for whatever you want, your games, your whatever. Or maybe you want this glitter Photoshop brush I made for something completely unrelated. Ooh, ah. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me, so thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Randomness. It's what makes card games so interesting to play. The simple act of shuffling and drawing cards creates unpredictable outcomes, providing a unique and exciting experience every time. But what happens when this randomness becomes a detriment to the game? And how do you deal with that? Being able to address this issue can often mean the difference between a good card game and a bad one. Even the most popular games aren't immune to these pitfalls. Take Magic the Gathering, for example, one of the most popular trading card games of all time. It's not uncommon to find yourself drawing nothing but lands, or conversely, having no lands at all, leaving you with a unplayable hand. On the flip side, randomness can swing in the opposite direction too, drawing an incredible hand, leading you to completely dominate your opponents.
Guess who I found?
While it's certainly fun for the player with the winning hand, it can be less enjoyable for everyone else at the table.
I found a kitten. Look at those eyes. Mwah. Hey. You want to escape? Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Okay. We'll do this one still. Back to art. All right, a feather is what we're looking for. So we need, let's do this. A line up the center. I feel like I want it to be slightly more pointed esque. Then we have like maybe a little bit of fluffiness down here. And then we can kind of carve some bits out here. I guess it probably makes sense to like make this a little uneven. So like they're not all exactly in the same spots. And then kind of make this its own shape rather than just a cutout shape of the other part. You know what I mean? Oh god. All right. Sorry, it's just looking a little it's not quite what I want it to be yet. I don't know, is it looking feather-like to y'all? I think I might just have too many shapes. Less might be more here. I think that is definitely the case. Alright. Ooh. Big sneeze. It's looking kind of scraggly, but we'll get there. It'll get there. I believe in me. Mostly. Feather. Yeah, I changed my idea. Feather. It's all emojis. Yeah, I decided instead of doing petulance, I decided to go with cowardice, and then so I just changed it to a feather, because that is apparently an iconography for cowardice. Could have gone a chicken or something, but I figured this works. It's kind of a wild, like, reading on it. It's technically a, like, World War II propaganda thing, but at least according to what I read for 2 seconds. Which I remember now that I've, like, looked it up again, but would have never remembered that. Which is kind of out of our era, but it's fine, I think. I'm afraid to ask why there's a kidney in the corner with the other mascots. I made Bean a bean. It felt appropriate to have another food, you know, another vegetable. So I sent that to Bean. I don't know. It felt appropriate. It's perfect. That look like a feather? Are we feeling feathery? There's a lot of delicious food stuff in the corner. Yum. Yeah, like Luna. Just tasty little kitten. Num num num. It eats her right up. You know what I mean? Kitten, no! Right, Lunasta? Where is she? I don't know. Little moon kitten. You know, it's funny. I named Luna. And then realized everyone names their cat Luna. It wasn't really intentional. It wasn't like, you know, typical. I mean, there's a few different reasons why people name their cat Luna, but a lot of it being like Sailor Moon or like, I don't know, just because she's a black cat. But I did it because she looked kind of like a bat. Change Luna's name to Luna just cuz. There you go, I could. I mean, I hardly call her her name anyway. I call her I call her Smit a lot, which is short for I'm smitten for my kitten, you know? So it's just Smit. You know how like you just constantly call your Smit? Yeah. Because I'm smitten for my kitten. Or with my kitten? For my kitten? I don't know. You're quite smitten. Or just call her kitten a lot of the time, but Smit as in got a smite. You got smited. Yes. Smitted. Part of me thinks that this one, it might make sense to not put any blood splatter on, but at the same time, I feel like it just doesn't quite feel right with the aesthetic. This one's cowardice now. Maybe just do it like very lightly on the edges. There we go. All right, they're all done. I guess for now, let's just export all of them, honestly. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. If I want to have like a separate art layer, or if I just want to export the whole image out and just replace. It's gonna be easier this way, honestly. Export PNG corruption cards. Export PNG apathy apatopata wrath. Yeah, we'll get all these in there and then I'll probably be done. We'll see how they look. Hydrate. Deal. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I definitely needed that. And Ebony. Ebvy. It's EBVY is how I spelled that because I typed wrong. I typed bad. I used type for bad. Violent. Pride. What? Gluttony. Oppressive. Sloth. I should have some water too, BRB. You should do it. Do it up. Neglect. Okay, cool. We did it. Now all we need to do is put all them into Dexterous. Images. Nope, not BTB. It is still actually in here. And it's still labeled Blight of Blackwater. which may never change. New folder. Corrupt. Consistent, I guess. I feel like I almost don't even notice the music anymore until I'm just like not paying attention. Or until not until I'm not paying attention. That literally makes no sense. Until I'm like not doing anything important. Like when I'm like I just zone in, you know. Unfocused. True. Okay, I'm gonna put this on my other screen just to do this quicker. Let me go here. Okay, Malice. Where is Malice? Where is Malice? Okay, copy. Actually, maybe I just do this in order of which they are in here. Apathy. Which happens to be the next one in order there as well. It's wild. In theory, that works. Assuming I named everything right, let's do it as a formula. Let's find out. Oh, oppressive. Why does it not work? Fine. Let's see if it works. Go Sheets being cool. Good GHJK. Good. All right, you guys. Keyboard at and at L. Oh. What? I confused for a moment. I got a couple more letters on my own. Interesting. I don't know if this is even... Oh, sorry. I missed like half the... I missed the ASDF for a second. Sorry. I got very confused. I was like, what is happening right now? Let's refresh the CSV. Okay. It broke. It did not work. It worked for... It's honestly probably because I spelled things wrong, if I'm being honest. We're just gonna manually put them in. As fun as using a formula would be. And as much as that makes sense, there's a good chance I just misspelled something and I don't care to correct it here. Okay, cowardice. Sometimes it like pastes with a space in it. I don't know why that is. Is it? I don't know. Envy. That one was supposed to be envy. Do that. Gluttony. It's so weird because it, I don't know. I don't know. Oppressive. When do we got greed next, which is this one that I accidentally filled in. Is that? Okay, so that works better. So maybe I just don't double click. Yeah, that's my problem. Buried in malice. Neglect. Sloth. Well, no. Do oppressive. Sorry, this is not very interesting. Watch me copy and paste things from one thing to another. Such intriguing content. Huzzah. Huzzah. There's a chance that this doesn't actually load everything. That was correct. Let's try one more time. Okay, for some reason we lost apathy. Because there's space in there. There we go. I think it looks pretty sick. Oh wait, you can't see them all. There we go. What do we think? I think you're pretty cool. That's pretty... I'm so engaged by this, I forgot to do my line of Coke. Jesus. Coca-Cola. For TOS, you know? Heavy Snake is a pretty good idea, TBH. I mean, that was Thunder, right? I believe. I think he said that one. Yeah, I think they all look pretty cool. No, I only do Pepsi. There you go. Looking good. I agree. I'm happy with it. I do need to like edit the layout a little bit more, and I can tell you right now this one's wrong. I think I didn't. Which one's this one? Cowardice. Yeah, it's literally export PNG. No, not Pride. It's slightly not the right color. Aggressive might be the same way. Yep. I was about to say I'm gonna be done, but let me get these two in there and then we'll... Is anyone else not quite right? No, that's it. We'll fix those and then we'll find someone to raid. Anyone got any suggestions? Or want to try to like scope someone out for me? You know me, I'm terrible at I take way too long to find someone. I think I need to bounce soon too. Okay. I kind of want to find someone new. That's the goal at least. But I don't mind if it's Yeah, I'm not planning on watching the whole other stream. Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to. I'll just find someone. I've been trying to like talk to people whenever I raid. It is late though. For all of us really, especially Maximus, but you know. Art? Yeah, I mean art's fine. Honestly, art or development or literally anything. Let me do this. And then let me try to find someone. Sometimes I wonder if I should be under the art category myself, but raid the Bob Ross channel. I've thought about it, but the problem is it's we're not gonna make any friends that way, you know. You don't get to talk to people. Smaller or similar sized. It's literally just one channel that it pops up, which is, well, I guess that can't be right. How ironic, Bob Ross not leading to more friends. I mean, maybe you could talk to some random strangers in the Bob Ross channel. I refuse to believe I'm the second lowest art person in the on Twitch. Because if I do like raid smaller or similar sized, it's like one other person. Like that can't be right. There's no way. But maybe, I mean, we only have like 2 people, so who knows. Maybe there's like a lot of people you can't raid because they're not partnered yet. I don't know how that works. No, you should be able to raid people. What am I talking about? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Who do we find? I have no idea. Yeah, me neither, dude. I'm sleepy. Yeah, me too, dude. Let me collectively sleepy. We're all collectively sleepy. Y'all watch anime? No, I just saw this someone's drawing something from Apothecary Diaries, which is a fun, interesting anime. But otherwise, nothing's particularly popping out at me. Yeah, we're collectively sleepy. I'm just scrolling here. Screw it, we're picking someone. Is the person I was just looking at just gone? No, they're not. Okay. We're literally just rating this because I know what anime it is. That's literally the only reason. Well, not the only reason. That sounds rude. That sounds very rude. We're just rating this one. That is the reason I'm doing it. But here we go. You guys can join or not. Doesn't matter to me. But I will see you all Monday probably, unless if for some reason things go like crazy. Something gets weird. But like I said, I got my roommate moving in tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't think that should change anything because in theory he's, you know, not here most of the week. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We're gonna go raid this lady and look at her cute art, I guess. All right, peace out, y'all. Catch y'all later. Goodbye.